Yo, what up? The stream might be going, perhaps. Uh, we grab the thing. Bruce, say hi.
Boop.
That's the video. Interesting. Live. I need to grab this so I can tell people about the fact that the stream is going. Because they need to know. The people need to know. Schmungus. Mobs can usually spawn on most blocks, and that's true for this block, but this block will prevent piglins, zombified piglins, and hoglins from spawning. The block was the netherwart block. Anyway, so you're gonna keep watching these random videos in the background?
I don't know. I might start playing something else.
Damn. Well, I'm gonna go do the stream now.
He's gonna go cream.
I'm gonna go cream the stream. Me when I'm creaming on the stream. Anyway, I left that call because, my friends, it is time we do a stream. I've got some stuff up. I haven't run the stream goal highlighter. I keep forgetting to run this exe file. Boom. Run that. Alright. We actually are existing now, perhaps, maybe, a wee bit. So, I'm gonna mute that thing. Alright. So, today we have some interesting things lined up. These are not in the real order, because I'm probably going to do this first, but let's go through them. I kind of want to start making some kind of item system, because currently, I need to explain what this is, but currently we have an item system, or an inventory system, and that works, that's fine, that's all good. I'll explain what I'm talking about with the item system in a minute. We need to create a death screen / player death in general kind of thing. Basically, right now, when the player reaches 0 health, they just kind of keep existing, and that's it. They just keep going. Nothing. That's it. That's literally it. They just keep existing, and then nothing happens when you reach 0 health. So I think it'd be quite a good idea if something actually did happen, like death. Then I want to make the ranged enemy bullets not phase through walls and live forever. Now, since I last streamed, I've actually done a bit of work on these, so the ranged enemies now have some better AI, and they actually shoot at you, and their shots don't look like complete garbage. They still look kind of meh, but they don't look terrible like they did before. Whatever. I've just been working on those off camera. I did some off-stream mining, you see, with that. And then finally, if we have some extra time, we might start work on another enemy type, which is this tank / ram kind of enemy that kind of charges at you and has a lot of health. I don't know. That's an idea. That's for if I decide that I want to do that and we just happen to plow through all these. And if somehow we manage to complete all of that within this the time I have a lot. I muted myself. Very fun. What I was saying is if somehow we finished all of these things, we have something else lined up for what? Where is it? I did close it before because you see I don't need to have this open 24/7, but I can go over and find it, and we can go to crafting and list of things, and we've got the list of things to do. Just kind of my ramblings of things to think about and things to do that just like for the future of the game, things that should happen, like making an actual main menu, or maybe doing this, which I actually did that last stream, so I think we're good there. Making some new enemy types, you know, changing how these work, making new weapons, material, but all the general stuff that no one cares about, right? Just that kind of stuff, stuff for the future. But back to the item system. What do I mean by that? Why did I say the item system? Well, we have an item system, we have a material system, we have a inventory system, which I can display right now, which I think works fine. It's actually perfect, I think. We have these materials, right, and then you can go over to this thing, and then you can go put them over here, and then I can say I want to make like a spear, and then I make a spear. Boom, I've got a spear now, you know, and now I can equip the spear, and I can start using it. That works. Everything about that is completely fine. I am happy with this. The real thing that I think is a bit off with it, or is something that's I think is lacking, is a per run item system. So now let me explain my dilemma here. So being able to have these is pretty cool and all, you know, being able to interact with this stuff, use these kind of menus. Very fun while you're here. But while you're in the actual gameplay of the game, you wouldn't have access to this probably. Now currently you do, but ideally you wouldn't. You shouldn't have the ability to interchange your stuff like this on the fly, because then that kind of defeats the whole purpose of having the two things equipped. I mean, maybe you could say it's for quick switching, but I think it's probably not the greatest idea if you can access your entire arsenal from right here. So that would ideally be locked away. But then you're just left with this. And if you had to do the entire thing, now don't mind the enemies actually existing and the bullets being around and sticking around forever, going through walls, stuff we're gonna fix this stream. But like I can go beat up these enemies, right? And when I go beat their asses, I say shoink, die, die, right? So I can go poop on them, I can shit on their donkeys, and they're dead now. The thing though is, it gets a bit stale, which is to say, I think there isn't a whole lot of change in the gameplay between now and, say, if I were to continue playing this. If I were to just continue going, I can keep beating up enemies, and maybe I'll come across new enemies in different scenarios. I come across the same enemies in different situations, or maybe I find new enemies if this was in the future. If we continue where the game is currently at to a logical extreme, you discover new enemies, new rooms, you discover new areas. But the gameplay itself is still the same. So what I want to do is try to introduce something kind of like how you'd say like Risk of Rain 2 or other roguelikes have items as well that are per run, so like I can pick up like a damage boosting item here, or like a movement speed boosting thing, or like I don't know, something that makes you attack faster, or something that makes you shoot like fireballs whenever you attack, or something like this. I don't fucking know. I'm thinking of random things to give it as examples. Now, what these would do is they would increase your power level as you play the run, but you'd also lose them when you die. Whereas materials like these things, you keep and they persist between death. Like you die, you bring them back, you craft new weapons and shit, and then you can use them in future runs. But items that you get that temporarily boost your stats while you're in this run would not persist forever. And I think what that would allow me to do is also to add not only more variation per run, but also introduce kind of the same roguelike light, I think would be the right term for this, but more roguelike elements to this, where each run is more unique because, you actually are getting different stuff. And I'm not sure how much I want these items to be, like, completely game-changing. Like, do I want the items to be, just, like, stat changes, or do I want them to be complete, like, new things that are added, per item? Like, is each item going to be, like, a big thing that changes? Like, ooh, like, you pick up an item, now you've got, like, swords floating around you. You pick up another item, and now you've got, like, I don't know, fucking laser beams. That'd be cool. And I think, in an ideal world, everything would be that cool. A.O. Giles, Bruce says. I'm not going to play video games right now, if that's what you're going to ask. I think in an ideal world, that'd be it. I want to have the items be as unique as possible with unique effects. But also, I am one guy. I'm making a brainstorming document for a game I'm trying to make my own this summer. Oh, okay. Sick. If you're going to say you're going to send me that, then send me it, and I'll look over that. I want to finish explaining what the hell my thought process is with this crackpot idea. I can look over that, and then we can do some other stuff. So I think for the items that are going to be per run persist, or the ones that don't persist between runs of this, would be, we have some that are kind of more simple, more stat changing. Maybe those are like the more common items, and then maybe the more rare items, the more rare they are in the run, the more unique they get. So that could be it. Like, the rareness is its eccentricity, where the common items are more bland and basic stat changes. They're not necessarily invaluable. It's just they're less intriguing. Whereas something like a legendary item or something of that nature would give you completely new effects or completely new things happening. And that's my current headspace with what I'm thinking of for the items. That way, It actually allows me to make some amount of content, because as a solo developer I can only really make so many things, and if I make every item make its own thing, like if I say I want to have like laser beams shoot out from an item, or I want to make it like have like a book that floats next to you and that randomly shoots at enemies, or I want to make you have like minions that follow you around or whatever, each of those is like a lot of time investment on my end for one item. So if I want to have a vast, or if I want to have a good quantity of those, then it means I have to invest quite a lot of time in just the items alone, which probably is not the greatest for the rest of the game's health, because it means I have to spend a lot of time on that. Now, maybe that means I can actually have a more polished item experience, but that also does mean that the rest of the game during that time will be quite lacking. And I think I'd rather work on the game as a whole than focus on just individual items. Now, in an ideal world, I'd do both. You know, I'd be doing good on the game, and I just slapped my microphone, and I'd be making these amazingly cool, unique items. But they don't provide the same. The messing up my words. I wouldn't be able to do that, because this sadly is not an ideal world where that would be allowed to happen, because I am, again, one guy making this, and I don't have all the time. I don't have all the time. So, Bruce, I'm gonna message you. Uh, so you gonna send me that document, or or will you later? Uh, I don't know if he's gonna send that to me now, and I can kind of review it, talk about it. Sources here without audio since you're doing stuff. What the fuck do you mean you're here without audio? Uh, I That's like the most confusing statement I've ever heard. I want to do some thinking on my own first. Okay. Okay. So Bruce just said that he wanted to do some of his own thinking on that before he sends me that document. So we'll come back to that. Anyway, let's start in like a couple seconds. Don't mind my silence there. I was just drinking water and doing some other stuff. All right. All right. So I think the first thing I want, why'd that alt tab to there? Close this. Close this. All right. So I want to do this. I'm just gonna send lol to source so that he knows I actually saw that. Um, I want to make these not phase through walls and live forever, because currently they do. So let's go over to my scripts. I think I still have these open. Yeah, I do. So somewhere in here, actually, it might be faster to find where the actual level girl and rat boy, where their projectile thing is. Do I actually have that? Damage indicator. Oh, I remember where I put it. All right, all right. So you go to here, double click on this. Okay, buddy, Buster. This is the enemy images, not the enemy. Okay, I double click on this one, and then we find that scary square. Why is it in other shit? Anyway, this has a script called enemy hit shit, and this is where we need to do it. So type equals rat, right? Type equals spitter. Float time equals 10f. I'm going to run a method, public void kill, destroy object. That'll be relevant in a second. So then we're gonna do update time minus equals time dot delta time. If time is less than or equal to 0, then kill. So there we go. So now, so this will live for 10 seconds instead of forever. So now it no longer goes to eternity. Also, when it hits the player, it kills itself. And then we say if collision, else if what do these have any identifiers? I need to find like, okay, look. Let's go to the rooms. So whenever you collide with a room wall, I want it to disappear. I want it to die, right? So the room, that's the room generator. Rooms. Did I put them somewhere else? I might have. Where the fuck did I put them then? I'm actually confused. When I said the thing, I meant wavy blue. What? Oh, where is the thing? Oh, okay, I forgot about that. Well, I didn't forget about it. I was waiting for eject to get here, but I can do it now if you want. Because I haven't done the spinning. We need a spinner. We need the spinner wheel killer. Hey yo! Hey yo, we got blue. That's pretty nice. So we can turn this on, and then I can filters, turn that off, close. There you go. Wavy blue. Wavy blue. We got wavy blue in the house. Let's go. Does it, I could not tell you where the actual room things are. I thought they would have been here, but they're actually not, which is concerning because that's where they should be. Um, I think I'm just completely blanking on where they're supposed to be. It's just crazy to me that I don't know where they are. Um, and I should be able to identify them from here, the room generator script. Sorry, is it not? It's this one. Yeah. Where are these? It's its own folder called rooms. I don't care. Anyway, these things. So this is what it would interact with. This is what it would hit. So nothing in itself is identifiable, but it does have a parent with an iRoom script on it, right? So what if I say if collision.transform, can I do .parent directly? No. .transform.parent. Get component iRoom is not equal to null. Kill. So this way, if it hits a wall, please reload. So if it hits a wall, you know, like it hits this one, right? It'll get the transform, the parent of that, which is the entire room. It'll get the iRoom component, and it's like, oh shit, it's a room, guys. It's a Roomba. So it dies. So we should see the bullets exist now. And we should see some. Ah, 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 ah. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. I forgot the script was I forgot the script was shared between the different types of enemies. Which is to say the spitter enemy, which I've been just calling it, uses it for the projectiles, but the melee enemies use it for the hit, like the attack hitbox of the player. So when they're attacking the player, this should fix it. Okay, first of all, fuck you. Look, if that doesn't work, I'm gonna be mad. I've got to hide these things somewhere. I've got to put them under some transforms so I can collapse them because they just take up so much space in the hierarchy. Anyway, attempt 2 or 3. I'm well. First of all, you need to go away. This was from when I was fixing the a different bug with the target location, but that's fine. That's been fixed. So now they're just not shooting, which is to say I think they are shooting, the bullets are just getting deleted instantly. And the only guess I have there is that they are colliding with this. because this is a box collider, but it has it as a trigger. So I should then say, where is it? Where is it? I already lost the fucking script. Hit balls. So close. Enemy hit shit. That's what it was. Okay. So this thing actually, all of this needs to change. Um. So we'll do this. If E is not equal to null and E or dot is uh wait. Hmm. Shit, never mind. This is actually all fine. It's what, okay, that, yeah. And collision dot dot get, can I just get component directly? I can. Box collider 2D dot is trigger. What a mess of a method. But hopefully it should work. Exit prefab. That might throw errors if somehow it managed to collide with anything that has a room parent that isn't a box collider, but they should be able to shoot at me. And, well, that's to be expected. The trail instantly dies because there's nothing to live for anymore once they've shot it, you know. Um, I'm not like saying that was unexpected or anything. I really should add some enemy shot prediction to this because currently they're just shooting where you are instead of where you're gonna be. But you can see that when they do it, it's just boink and then shaboink. Okay, so let's fix some of this. So this should be fairly easy, which is I do a start coroutine. Public enumerator sex die. So instead of this, I do start coroutine sex die is die equals false if the return, so it stops being able to kill things if is the return stop return. So basically this is the equals true stop Truman, like the Truman Doctrine. Come on. Anyway, so sex die. What we are going to do is we are going to, I probably should do a hard reference, but it doesn't matter. Get component, sprite renderer dot enabled equals false. Yield return null, or new wait for seconds 5. Can I just get the colliders? Shit. Fuck. I wanna get first time seeing the range enemies, even though they're not really working right now. They look cool. Yeah, that's for real. They do look pretty sick. I just realized because this quality is kind of shared, I'm going to say, I mean, the sprite render being false is fine. Type equals from the spitter. If they're from this enemy type, then they do this. I can do that? It was sick. Okay. And then we just destroy game object. But this one will be for the specifically that. So I think it's a circle collider 2D. Right? So I do this, and it waits for not 5 seconds. Let's do more like 3 seconds. That's more reasonable. So this way, the trail should not instantly disappear, and it should look better if it when it dies. Um. Oh, okay. Wait. Mover sex balls, I think, is the thing I also need to get rid of. Drinking some water, and let's see if that works. My goal with this is essentially to make it so that they stop in place for 3 seconds, so that the trail has some time to disappear. I'm not going to comment on it. I have no comment. What? Wait, what? Hold on. Uh... Holy shit, it's using a box collider. That's weird. That's kind of funny, actually. I thought it was using a circle collider, given the fact that it's a circle, but it's actually using a box collider. Um, yeah, that's kind of an L on my part. Ignoring the dumb problems here, we have the shots, please. Shots fired, shots fired. Yo, 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 they're disappearing, you can see. So now that it doesn't look nearly as shit whenever they hit a wall. I mean, I still need to make it look like add some kind of animation or something so that they don't just disappear. But it looks better. It looks better, and you can see the enemies, they kind of stay like a set distance away from me. And then if I try to go close, they run away. You're like Pac-Man, because they don't want to die, they just want to shoot you and kill you instead. Now the thing is that I'm able to survive infinitely, more or less. This is also where bows come in handy, because you can kill them from a distance, you see. You can fight them at their own game. Currently their health is the same as rats, which it probably shouldn't be. It probably shouldn't be. It looks like they'd have a bit more. That or rats should have less health and then they have more. I think rats should have like 10 health, to be honest. And then these things maybe have like 20. I don't know. I'm not a connoisseur. This bullet, if I hit that, I think might maybe crash the game. Ooh, that one came in hot. Yo, can I grab the item? What? Anyway, so that's that debacle covered. And that's this one done. So can we create the death screen / player death en general? So we have the player entities. Actually, first, I think let's go to the enemies and mess with their health value. U10, U20, U movement speed. Movement speed, that's a speed. Movement speed is going to be like 4. Reducing their movement speed a bit, because they do run away, which is a bit annoying. So just making sure it's a bit easier to catch them is all. It also means they yeah, this is better, I think. Because it's less annoying to catch the enemy that's constantly trying to get away. Shungite, Shungite. So these things, right? 1, 2, 3. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. That one took 2. Am I going crazy? 1, 2. Hold on. Oh, I set the health, not the max health. I'm so smart, guys. My brain is just too big. I set the, I set the health, not the max health. It's so dumb. All right, fixed that. Rats should now die in 2 hits. These should take 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfection. You know, you gotta beat them up. Boing, 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 bonk. Shoing, 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 boink. Shoing, 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 doink. Boing, 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 boing. Just it's all perfection now. Kill that with the rats, and then we shoot him. Dude, the spread is crazy. The spread is crazy. Um, Die. So okay, so now you see this is where like the use of the crossbow actually comes in, because like you don't actually have to go up to them to go kill them. You can go fight them from afar. That, or you can go up and try and chase them, but then they have the free chance to hit you. This gives you the opportunity to switch between them. You know, the high skill gameplay here. That's what this is. Then again, though, I do not know how I feel about this kind of just sitting there and doing that. I might try to make that a bit more high octane, but you know, whatever. I can do. Maybe by increasing the accuracy of the crossbow a bit, because it is quite inaccurate. Um, I do say, I do say. Let's. I don't actually know where that. I think that's hard coded in somewhere. And hell if I fucking know. I'm not gonna change it right now. I might write that down as something to do in the future, but potentially make the just like I just clicked a random button. Make crossbow slash bow more accurate, maybe. Just like as a thing to do in the future to kind of fix it up. Gotta love that for if it's not multiplayer. All right. Dagger code. Yo. Man says yo. And I say, oi. I don't know. I don't know. He just says yo. I mean, I don't even know where to go from there. There isn't anything I can really say to that. I can't top that. I can't, there's nothing to say. How long have you been coding? That's actually a good question. People ask me that a lot. And I always say I don't know. I mean, if you ask how long I've been using Unity and C# specifically, I can give you the hard answer of about 2 or 3 years. But if we say coding in general, then the question gets a bit muddy, because then it's like, do you consider Minecraft commands as coding? Because I was doing that before I was doing this. Or do you consider like Scratch as coding? Because I was also doing that before I was doing this. So if those count, then a couple more years. If they don't, 2 or 3 years. I don't know. It depends on your interpretation of what it means to do coding, I guess. I personally don't value block coding that highly, but maybe you do. I don't know. So we have, I don't know, some stuff. Where was this? So I want to make some kind of death screen right now, because currently the player just kind of exists when they die, or when they have 0 health. Man says okay. Well, we're all okay. We're not okay. There is no such thing as okay. Where is the... That's the damage profile. That's going too far. So right here we have this kill method here, which I think I explicitly just said, yeah, nothing happens when the player dies. This would be where the code goes for the player. There's nothing there. Nothing happens. I could just say like main menu. That's not it. Gamer.instance.main menu. I could just do this, which so if you die, it brings you to the main menu. There definitely should be a death screen somewhere in between. I don't think you should just go directly to the main menu whenever you die, but it is kind of funny. Let's see this in action, shall we? I think everything just does 10 damage, because I haven't actually like told them to do anything else. So I'm waiting to die. Do damage, please. I think I may have fucked the rats slightly, but yeah, when you die, you just go to here. These are back. The chests. So this is something I've got to work on, which is the chests aren't getting cleared out. You can see they're spawned in here, but they're not getting cleared out there. That also is a slight thing. We don't talk about it. That has to do with the free aspect, but if I change it to 16:9, you can see this gets real fucked. That has to do with pixel farting. I don't want to deal with it. 16:9 will be the aspect ratio I play in, though. So when I die, Actually, more acutely. If I go up here, okay, the rats actually are able to hit me. I think. Are they? Hold on. I know this is piling up because it doesn't delete the chests. I need to find a rat. This is not helping. I'm just gonna main menu. No, that's the wrong button. I'm just gonna keep doing this until I get a good rat spawn. I can keep spawning in these chests everywhere in the map. Okay, okay, okay. So this one, joink. Okay, so I think I know what's going on here. I in the you know how the enemy hit shit is shared. I think this is being ran when it's not supposed to. If type equals splitter. There we go. That I was like, I'm pretty certain what happened there. I'm pretty certain what happened there was because the rats are also using the same script. They hit me once with their collider, you know, which does the damage to me, and then it deleted the collider, and and so now the rats should actually be more of a threat instead of just doing one tick of damage and then dying, and I died there. We don't actually have a death screen though. We have a main menu, which is kind of not the same thing. So maybe we should make one of those real quick just to throw it together kind of thing. I'm not actually sure what would be in the death screen. I do have to do a lot of stuff. So let's go to the I do have a list of the chests. I do want to fix that bug RQ because it is kind of annoying. So you know this chest stuff. Get chest. Get chest does get ran before. That does not seem to add it to a list anywhere. But yet I have a list of these are the possible chests. But I want to make a public list of spawned chests. And then we go find the other instance, and then I say spawned chests dot add. Can I just do C? Is this a game object? Fuck, it's not a game object. I'll just do interactables. Doesn't matter. It's already running get component on it. Alright, so we've got a list of these. And then when we go main menu, I think main menu, when it gets ran, runs like a clear map, right? And then clear map does all this stuff. This is where we need. This is what we need. It should be this. So we say... Wait, spawn rooms? Okay, yeah, no, it is clearing these. So we do this, we do it with spawned chests, destroy this, spawned chests. There you go. So now that bug should be no more. Those ballers that we were that we were seeing on the map should no longer appear whenever you go to the main menu. And what was happening before, it was basically the chests, or air quotes chests, because I haven't made the texture for that. It's just baller. It's just the baller PNG. Bruce says Ayo. I think he's done with the document based on that message, but we'll see what he says. I'm pretty certain those chests should no longer be bugged. Bruce says Giles. Well, he's clearly referring to me here. Those bullets are not getting destroyed. I shared the thingy with me. He says that he shared the thingy with me. I guess we can take a slight break to do this, but I will write down that the bullets are not being destroyed. Bullets, no, die. Alright, there we go. So where's this thing that he claims to have shared with me? If I had to guess, it'd be on this account, so let's check it out. Shared with me. Brainstorming document. Very loud sip of water. Bruce's game. Asterisks means that it's a maybe and not a super likely to happen. I'm gonna turn off Grammarly because this is kind of annoying. Shut the fuck up, Grammarly. So this is a PvE 2D platformer RPG Risk of Rain 2 style. That's a statement. I think he means like side facing like Mario, not top down. Roguelite type. Wait, I should open chats if he's gonna talk in there. We can pull. I'll just keep it on the other monitor. It's fine. Roguelike type game with repeated gameplay with things you can do in between runs. Alright. No characters, just a profile. In each profile, you have a skill tree, general stat boosting tree, unlockable recipes for permanent items that can boost your runs. Huh. All right, hold on. I'm gonna keep reading before I say anything about this. We have a faction system. There will be a few factions that you can choose to join for your profile. Interesting. Okay, so they're like guilds, or just like each faction will have a certain theme. There will be a system for progressing through the faction where you unlock certain items and buffs specific to that faction. Possibly more stuff for factions. I don't know right now. That's kind of cool. I actually kind of like that. One thing I would note about it is to make sure that people aren't like locked into certain paths. Because that could be a thing where if someone chooses one early on before they're like, if it's something you have to choose at the beginning of the game, then people might not be informed about it. They might not make an informed decision. They might not make an informed decision about which one they want to be in. And then if it's kind of like the sunk cost fallacy, or rather, if they are basically discouraged from leaving the faction they joined at the beginning, then it could lead to some kind of meh gameplay. But that's just a thought that I had. Just throwing it out there. Permanent items, in parentheses, accessories. Throughout the runs, you can collect different resources and other things. You get an achievement to unlock recipes for some. Wait. You get an achievement to unlock recipes for some items that are more advanced. Oh, There will be a place in the main area where you can craft these permanent items to gain boost during a run. Kind of like Minecraft, except the items are like the items you make are boosts. These permanent items will be things like boots, hats, amulets, rings, typical accessories. Yeah, the player will have a finite number of slots for equipping said items, so they will have to be wise which ones they equip. Okay, yeah. Some items may have a slight downside in order to make deciding on it, yeah, more interesting. So yeah, I like that. So to clarify, the amount of different power leveling things I'm seeing right now is we have a skill tree, a general stat boosting tree, unlockable recipes for permanent items, which I assume are these. Then there's also the factions, which we're gonna which are there. There is no characters, just a profile. There's also levels according to this. Um, and I guess we'll keep seeing. But it also sounded like there was gonna be like per run items based on this, based on what I'm seeing. So that's a lot of things. So let's see, a finite number of maps that will randomly be selected for each stage, probably similar to Risk of Rain 2 again. Or Risk of Rain 2, whatever. Again, yeah. That's so each map would be handcrafted, but there's like a limited selection of them. Yeah, it makes sense. Player levels gain experience from playing games and getting achievements. Okay, so these are not per run like Risk of Rain 2 or Risk of Rain. These are spanning across runs. Gain slight buffs from leveling up. Certain milestones of leveling up might unlock new accessory recipes. Yeah, okay. Faction progression system. A percentage of the total experience you will gain will go towards increasing your level in a faction. Interesting. There will be so basically it's just doing the exact same thing where your XP is also going towards the faction system. All right. There'll be a faction quest board where you can complete quests specific to your faction. These quests will have a time or run limit. Interesting. All right. So, like, if you have one that's like focused on killing things, then it's like kill certain enemies within certain amounts of time or runs. Or if it's like finding items, and it's like find a certain item within a certain amount of time. That's interesting. You can complete these quests and you'll gain a favor in your faction. Okay. So you can gain favor. I don't know what that does. If you fail a quest, you will lose favor in your faction. Well, I don't know what favor actually is. Over time, if you neglect taking on faction questions, you will slowly lose favor in your faction system, for that will be interesting. I think you meant quests, not questions. You'll slowly lose favor in your faction. This seems like mobile. I don't. This seems like it's a mobile style retention, like user retention, which is basically forcing people to come back to the game to not lose favor, which I'm not the biggest fan of, because that means you're basically punished for not playing the game, which I mean maybe that's what you want. I mean that does get people to keep playing it, I guess, but I'm not the biggest fan of that. If you, I mean, maybe if it's just while you're in the game, but I'm also still not the biggest fan of that either. If you choose not to engage with a system, then you actively start becoming worse. It seems kind of meh. I don't know. We'll come back to that. I don't want it to be like really okay, okay. Um, but I think that you seem to be punishing players for not engaging with the quest system, by making them slowly lose favor in the faction if they don't do it. Is there any other way to gain favor, or is it only through quests? Well, I'm gonna keep reading for now. If you get low enough favor, then you'll be kicked out of your faction and lose all the boosts you had from the faction and be forced to join and be forced to join one of the other factions with a lower starting favor due to having been kicked out of your previous faction. What am I reading? You'll have a bad reputation with your old faction. Over time, your reputation with that faction will slowly increase, and once it gets back to zero, you'll be able to rejoin that faction. Whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Intentionally leaving a faction will have the same consequences as being kicked out. Okay, remember what I was talking about with the preventing players from wanting to leave their faction? Similar idea. This is discouraging people from trying out new things if they are actively punished for leaving their faction. Like, yeah, I think this is pretty harsh right now. Like what I'm currently thinking of, if you have like a faction that like boosts certain things and a different faction that boosts a different thing and a different, so each faction has its own like bonuses, right? So if each faction is truly unique as you say they are, then each faction will have its own specialty and therefore the boosts they give you will be catered towards those specialities. But that means if you want to change which speciality you're currently boosted in, you are actively punished for doing so, which discourages engaging with the game. It discourages like experimenting and trying out new things, which I think is probably not a good feature. I also so all of these last ones about kind of this stuff I'm not the biggest fan of. Maybe they can be made, I mean, maybe they can be made in a way that's interesting. I just see a lot of problems, at least with the way they're currently described. Anyway, you can pick up items during your run, like Heroes of Hammerwatch or Risk of Rain 2. Yeah. You gain a currency that you can use to buy items or buffs before a run, like you can in Heroes of Hammerwatch. Yeah, okay. Interesting. I'm seeing a lot of different ways that your like power level or stats or whatever change. So to run through them, you have let's just start with them from the top. All right, so you have a skill tree. You also have a general stat tree. You have unlockable recipes for permanent items, which are not the same as items that you find in the run. We'll come back to those. So then you also have player levels. You also have the faction boosts that you gain, like that you get from having high favor. Um, then you also have what during runs. Then you also have the during run items, right? Like just so this is a lot of different things which go into changing how your stats are. Which seems like it might be a bit hard to juggle if that's all thrown on the player at once. So I'd probably stagger those out throughout the game rather than having them all right at the beginning. I might have an idea for making the faction switching better. Like you have just a general faction experience that would stay with the I can't read this because Google Docs is shit. It's just making the name cover the text. Um, I could just copy and paste this somewhere else so I could read it, but then I can't see what he's actively anyway. Like you'd have a general faction experience level that would stay with you for every faction you are in, or for any faction you are in. But the amount of favor you would have would increase your level in that. But the amount of favor you would have would increase your level in the faction you are currently in. Hmm. Just have a general faction experience level. Hmm. So every faction would have two things, or I guess you have one outside experience level second, so it's like a secondary leveling system for factions, and then each faction also has its own favor level. Interesting. This is a I mean this seems like a very complex combination of things that you're throwing together here. I'm especially interested. I mean, maybe because I'm also making something related to crafting. The crafting thing that you've thrown in here. There will be a place in the main area where you can go to craft these permanent items to gain boosts. I assume it's not going to be like Minecraft style crafting. I think it's going to be more like this item requires 5 stone and 5 wood, and then you can make it or something like that. Um, I assume that's what it's going to be because I can't imagine needing crafting like actual recipes. I think like based on what I'm reading here, the crafting recipes are just unlocking different things that you can craft within this menu. Um, yeah, that kind of yeah, okay. Um, hmm. It definitely could be interesting. I'm not seeing too much about the gameplay. Yeah, it's like a resource requirement for the items to be crafted. Yeah. I'm not seeing too much about the moment to moment gameplay. A lot of stuff about the in between, which I mean I also did for mine, but it's from what I'm seeing from the moment to moment gameplay, it's the PvE, so kind of Risk of Rain 2 style side view RPG as you described it, with repeated gameplay with things you can do in between runs. So it would be side view with set maps that it kind of cycles through. Same character, you pick up items or you get items throughout the run. There isn't too much describing what like the gameplay is gonna be. I'm just gonna like combine the gameplay of Heroes of Hammerwatch and Risk of Rain. All right. Slash Risk of Rain Returns. Okay, yeah. Um, I don't know if you know how much my current project is inspired by Heroes of Hammerwatch, but it is decently inspired by Heroes of Hammerwatch because it's a really good game, but it also has quite a lot of flaws. I kind of alluded to this in the video that I made a bit ago. And when I say a bit ago, I mean a couple of days ago. In that video, I showed them briefly on screen, but the game it definitely has a lot of upsides and also I think a few downsides. It's a very unstable game, which is, I mean, whatever. But the game suffers from grind. I think is the best way to put it, where basically the beginning of runs kind of feel a bit boring because you're just kind of going through the same thing over and over again. They did mitigate this with like those red portals that let you skip forward to the later areas, but it feels a bit grindy. And then also the later game, I don't think we really got too far into it, but basically the kind of grinding for ores and gold to upgrade your base kind of becomes a bit monotonous. Um, and so those are things I want to try and avoid if possible in my current project. And something I think you should also take note of is to not fall for the same folly, the same pitfalls as the previous games have. Like a 2D stage platformer PvE with a boss at the end of each stage, possible like NPCs or things you can interact with in the stages. All right, yeah, that could be pretty cool. Um, my current recommendation is definitely to limit the amount of things that I'm seeing, at least at the beginning of the game. Basically to introduce them slowly over time. Maybe as maybe everything kind of centers around the player levels, you know? Or maybe not, but there's just some ideas that I'm having. I don't know the exact way you could implement this, but basically I'm seeing a lot of things, like the you have the skill tree, general stat boosting tree, recipes, factions, faction boosts from different factions, and like purchasable items that you can get before runs. All this stuff that would be presented to the player as things they can do, but would also I feel like be very overwhelming when you would have no idea what these things do. So I think would maybe be an interesting idea would be to introduce them slowly. So like maybe you start the game and you don't really have that much access to these things, but then you can like unlock the ability to use the skill tree, and then you can unlock the stat boosting tree, and then you can unlock maybe the crafting thing for permanent items, and then maybe you can unlock the faction kind of things, right? So as you get to know the game more, you get to understand how these things that you're unlocking affect the game, and how they change it, how they improve it. I don't know. Just throwing out random ideas that I'm having to the wind. Maybe you want to do it, maybe you don't. Also, why is the game not super likely to happen? How could you? How dare you? How I don't even know. I don't have any more words. I don't I don't know. I don't know. It's an interesting game from what I've it's an interesting main menu. Couple more asterisks. Hold on. I don't think you put enough. There you go. Um, other than that, I don't have too much to say about this. I mean, it seems interesting, which I've already said a few times. But I can't really say anything other than that because there isn't a whole lot here for me to talk about. So you're not going to do the general stat tree, maybe. Hmm. I'm not sure what a skill tree would be doing. One thing that I am interested, like, if you could elaborate more on, is the no characters, just a profile thing that you wrote. So you're just like some guy. I mean, kind of like mine, where you're just some guy. But with mine, you have the most of the variety comes in like the weapons that you can pick because you're not playing different characters. You're playing with different weapons. With yours though, you just said it's no characters, just a profile, meaning it's the same nerd that you're playing the entire time, which I think you need to be wary to make sure it doesn't get like too monotonous. Has like loader, merc. Yeah, those are characters. Those are characters. But you're saying not that. This game, you will just be one guy with customizable playing stuff. Yeah, okay. So like if you were like I guess commando because it's the most basic and versatile. But let's say you're like commando except instead of having like two skill options, you have like seven per slot or something like that. Maybe that's what you're thinking. You unlock different attacks and abilities. I think maybe that's what you're thinking of. I know the perfect analogy. Vellum, the game. That one with the different main attacks, different secondaries, different I can never remember the fuck they call them. Unique inks or whatever the fuck they're called. The third ability. Kind of. I think that's what you're going for. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say. Yeah, and the inks would be. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Player levels, milestones, unlock new accessibility. All right. Faction progression system. I like the quests. I like the quests. I think that's probably of the things that I'm seeing in here, the most interesting. The that's like of everything I've seen in this document, the thing that stands out to me the most, which is the factions and the faction quests. That seems the most standoutish, the most unique, I should say. Because like, I mean, you don't really see too many other games with it. I mean, Vellum has like challenges. I mean, a lot of games tend to have like challenges or quests or something or achievements that you can do, but most often those are just for some secondary things. All of us will make it into the game because they don't want it to be. You don't want to. Yeah, okay. I think the quests are probably the most unique that I've seen. They kind of remind me of Deep Rock Galactic missions, except that it's not the things dictating the gameplay. But I think you could my current thoughts is the game could be quite heavily focused on the quest and that could be pretty fun because I know in Deep Rock Galactic at least the game is all about taking on missions and I mean each mission has its own stuff going on with the game, but you wouldn't have to do that. But like I think the focusing on the quests could be interesting. I guess it depends on how you want to implement the quests. Because a lot of this other stuff is stuff that we've kind of seen before in other games. So I mean, there's nothing bad about that. Hey, my game is basically only stuff that exists in other people's games, just kind of meshed together in different ways. Um, I'm just trying to think of how the game can stand out, you know? Because I wanna make the game I want to make like I want to see if I can improve this game beyond what I see here. And of the very limited amounts that I am able to see, I think the quests are the most unique things that I have identified. So the factions and quests, I'm interested to see where those go. But also be careful with them because, as I pointed out, I don't think you should be punished for changing. I it is my personal maybe you could say philosophy, maybe you could say like ideal, but I don't think players should be punished for experimenting because that's kind of the fun of the game. Mm, maybe not entirely, but I think experimenting in games is fun. Finding new shit to do, testing out new ideas. Um, I think that's pretty fun to do. So my main advice is be careful with that, with the factions, from how you've described them. And that's everything I have to say. Interesting game, as I've said many times. Now that I've spent like I don't know 20 minutes covering that, we can continue doing stuff. I kind of got very sidetracked and also forgot where I was. We were gonna make the death screen. Yes, I remember. I remember what I'm doing. Maybe. So who remembers where the enemies are? So the enemies I want to make, they're already being cleared. I'm probably gonna make a slight reduction in the progress when switching, but like not a big punishment, just to stop people from switching willy nilly. That's fair. Yeah, I could see what why I don't get why wouldn't you just like store them as three different values? You know how in like Deep Rock Galactic each character can have its own level. What you're currently describing to me is like if you get like a character level 20 and then you leave to go to like play like you get like say like scout to like level 20 and then you go play driller or something, then that would like lower your level in scout is kind of what my like analogy that I'm thinking of, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Why wouldn't you just someone put like a heart, if someone's putting heart emojis, wow, crazy. um why wouldn't you just not change the value when switching? Like, if isn't I feel like it would be enough to just say when you go to a new faction you don't have any oh hey Axwell Corp, whoever that is. um I think it would be enough to say that, is to just keep it, like you can leave and join whenever you want, not to switch them really nilly, but to say that like you need to level them up individually, and that's my idea on it. Anyway, I should actually probably start making the uh dumb things with the bullets, making them not, fart themselves when you go to the main menu. That and also making the death screen because I still am getting sidetracked from that. Like I spent too long on the on Bruce's random idea document. Did I even still have that open? I don't. I closed the entire thing. We're good. So these bullets when they spawn in, where do they spawn in? It should be in navmesh entity, I think. Instantiates. Yeah, right here. So this is the code that's currently instantiating it. We have Venus. Let me grab a transform. Public transform balls. I'm just gonna put them under balls. This way I can find them and easily delete them when I need them to. So I can just say, when we're spawning them in, gamer.instance stop balls. I thought I put a capital B. No, I didn't. Well, yeah, my idea is just to have like a faction favor stat specific to each faction, so you can keep your general XP when switching factions, but you start without any favor in any. Okay, yeah, yeah, okay. I think personally, anything else I have to say for that game was gonna need to be withheld until I can see more of it. Because currently you just have given me like a page document. I kind of wanted to be like a loyalty slash morality system. Oh, okay, okay. Then yeah, that could be quite interesting. Um, I need to create like a transform, which is just gonna create like a create empty bullers. Bullers is my main homie. So I'm just going to reference this. I think gamer is right there. Bullers is my balls. I didn't make the code. Bruce, when he's gonna head out. Imagine heading out. Could not relate. Where the kid? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Where is the code that clears it? It's called clear map. Clear map. Here we go. So another thing to do. This one is just in the one thing, which is just for each var sex. Very nice in balls dot get components. Get components in children. I'm gonna say mover. Actually, I'll do enemy hit shit because it's the most common. Enemy hit shit because it's the most common one. And then we do destroy that. I don't even think we need to have that if statement because it's getting them, so it destroys them. So it goes through everything that's a child and destroys it. That's it. So now, when an enemy shoots me and then I go to the main menu and then I start the game up, it should no longer still be there. Maybe, possibly, perhaps. I don't really have any great ways of testing that other than just pray. We can look at bullers. We can see when it fills up, you know. When enemies start shooting at me, I can analyze it. So I have it open, right? You can see the scary squares. Yep, they're being killed, and then they get cleared. There you go. So that's actually good. That's working. One thing I probably should also make is something to make so the player's camera doesn't just zoom around, but you can see these things spawn in and they get cleared away when the game ends. So there you go. That's another bug. Flushed down the toilet of fixed problems. Up next, death screen, maybe, if I stop putting it off. Where's the normal renderer? I want to make a UI image real quick. Actually, I'm gonna bring that back. So let's bring that like here or something. Actually, it should be above that inventory and above the pause menu. It doesn't really matter where I put it, to be honest. It just needs to work. So this should fill your entire screen, and then it should just be black, because who cares? And then it's just gonna say, you died, lol. UI text, you dead, lol. Yeah, let's just put it at that, because who gives a shit? UI button, where is it? And you are just going to run. I didn't put the thing in there. You are going to run this gamer.main menu. Where is it? Where is it? Main menu. All right. Right, and then you... Nope. Nope. Expand the whole menu. Sad main menu sad. So you click this button to go back to the main menu. Actually, let's make it even better. What's the best place for this button? Let's rotate it slightly, you know? Let's move it like up there or something. Let's put this text, the you dead text. Where is it? This one. Let's just put it like awkwardly right there. There you go. And there you go. This is the amazing place that you that you see when you die, maybe. Let's make a new tag ref. Don't mind all these. Don't mind them. They're just kind of there. So we have this menu, dead menu. Doesn't even matter anyway. Anyway, we have the dead menu. That'll be when you die. So let's do update menus. This is the wrong thing. This is auto grid size. That's not even close. Update menus, the method. This one. All right. So all of these is the checks. Check 6 I don't think is being used, right? This is just an array of booleans that I use for storing data. Doesn't appear to be used. So check 6 will now be being used for dead menu. Dead menu, checks 6. And then I do the player. Where's enemy, or where's entity OXS? In the OXS. So instead of doing main menu, we're going to run gamer.instance.clearmap. Gamer.instance.checks 6 equals true. So in other words, it enables the death menu, and then gamer.instance. I think it's just up to menus, yeah. So in other words, it clears the map, enables the dead menu, and then displays the dead menu. That should be what happens. let's test it out. I mean, maybe we can, maybe we can't. Let's see. So I'm just gonna go vibe here, and the enemies are gonna attack me like they do. They're very cringe like that. And then you die, and then you go to here, and all this stuff should have been cleared away. It appears to be. And then you go to the main menu, and then you're in the amazing title screen. Would you look at that? We've got the, we've got. Okay, I'm gonna kill that thing. The camera just still is not good. So, yeah. So you go to the you dead lol menu, and then you do sad main menu Segzenbiggen. That's amazing. And then you click sus. So is this guy alive, by the way? He's not consistent. Yo, yo, my man, my homie, my homie. That's not even it. I just didn't even I pasted something completely wrong. What? There we go. Uh anyway, that is a link to the stream, right? Yep, we're good. That'd be really funny if I just sent I just sent this guy a link, right? I also pasted this by accident. Um I that is this stream, but it's also I think the exact same thing as the previous stream that I did. So that'd be really funny if I just sent him a link to the previous stream, but no, that's the right link. I don't know why he's not here. I can't believe this guy. He's supposed to be the only mostly consistent viewer. Even Source showed up for a bit. I don't even know if he's still here. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Actually, hold on. No, he's not. He's not logged into the Minecraft server that I also have open over there. But yeah, that's wild that he's actually not here. I can't believe it. I think my heart is in ruin. I think I don't know. I think I'm a bit I'm looking for a word here. I want to say stabbed, but in the heart. There's like a stake through my chest. I feel betrayed. I feel utterly devoid of emotion, but also depressed at the same time. Anyway, I think I'm gonna actually continue maybe coding. Perhaps. Maybe that's something I could do. So this item system is something that's probably gonna take an interesting amount of time. So I want to make something that kind of displays them and allows you to pick them up and allows you to modify them. It's going to be a whole shebang. So let's go over to the player. I need to make some kind of method that lets me easily obtain, if the player has an item, how many of that item they have. And what else? I don't know, anything else really. So I think I might use a dictionary for this. I know that's pretty wild. Dictionaries are pretty wacky, yo. But I might be able to use a dictionary to my advantage here. Right? So let's take a look, shall we? So let's say I make a public dictionary of string ints of items equals new dictionary string ints. So this is every item the player has. Maybe, possibly, perhaps. We need to make two methods. Number one, public void add item string item int amount, and let's do some combination stuff. So if tags, or not tags, sorry, items dot contains key item. In other words, if you already have it, then it should be items item plus equals amount, else items add item amount. There you go. So in other words, what this is doing, this is basically saying that it's just saying if you don't have the item, then it gives you that, or if you do have it, then it increases the amount. So if I give myself 1 dirt, then if I don't have dirt, so this is false, I don't have dirt, then it just says, and it puts into the dictionary, I have 1 dirt. Or if I give myself 1 dirt and I already had like 10 dirt, so that it does have this is true, then it increases it. Now I have 11 dirt, right? And then we're going to do another one, public void get item. Remove item is a logical thing, but we're not going to really remove items. That's not something that's really going to happen. I mean, if I am going to do that, I don't need the general methods for it. I'll do it directly via the accessing the dictionary if I'm going to do that. Get item though. String item int. So similar if statement here. If you contain the key, then it's going to return item the amount. Otherwise, it's going to return 0. So basically, what this is doing now is I can basically just query, do I have dirt with this? And if it's 0, then I don't have any dirt. And if it's 1 or some other number, it means I have dirt. It also means I can get the amount of the dirt that I have. And this should mean whenever you acquire an item, I should be able to get the amount of the item that you have. There's also the problem of dictionaries being a dictionary. So there's going to be some interesting stuff to do with the item displays. I'm not exactly sure the best way to go about this, to be honest. I'm a bit lost. This is kind of something a bit new. So let's make a new list of something, and I think I might call it a aux item, because I already have the jizz item, right? So why not make an jizz item? Item shites. Item shites. Now, what is aux item? Well, it doesn't exist yet, but that's because it's about to. So we're going to make a system.serializable class, which is going to be public class, well, aux item, and we're going to do a public string name equals this. So in other words, you can get the name, and a public sprite image. So now you have the name and image associated with every item. Do I want to do that? I don't fucking know. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Like if I want to make a display, right? I can go through every like index in the dictionary, but I can't just look up the name of an item. I can't dictionary it either. Fuck. All right, hold on. Public dictionary string aux item equals new well, item shit dick. Item shit dick. That actually makes sense too. Equals a new dictionary in this. Right? And so this is creating a dictionary of them. And then on awake, for each var a and item shites item dot shit dick dot add item or a dot name a. There you go. So now I have a lookup table that I can use. Right? So now if I use the name baller in the player, I can get the amount of the item they have, and if I use the amount of ball if I type baller here, then I can get the general properties of it, such as its name, which I mean we already know, but more specifically the image, and if we append any other kind of data to it, like a maximum number, then we can easily append or find that here. I don't know how max number exactly would work. Probably just like it would remove it from the item pool or some shit like that. I don't know. I'm pulling shits out of my butt, you could say. Now, I know the correct saying is pulling stuff out of your ass or pulling shit out of your ass, but I don't care. Man, I'm tired. It's fucking 11 p.m. I did the stream late because I was doing other stuff today. It is Father's Day today. Happy Father's Day, by the way. But yeah, I was out for like 5 hours because we were doing like a hike with our family for Father's Day because my dad was like, we should go on a hike, and so we went on a hike. Honestly, pretty cool adventure. Currently, my parents are out at a Red Sox game, or is it Red Sox? It's a baseball game. I don't know if it's a Red Sox game. They're out at a baseball game. My mom got these. Speak of the devil, I think they're back. I mean, they've been out for like 6 hours, so you know. I mean, not they've been out for like 5 hours. But yeah, it's been interesting. It's been an interesting day. We did that. We did some other stuff. Honestly, I'm fucking throwing in the towel for today. I would like to stream for longer. Normally, I like to go for 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, but 3 hours is generally pushing it. But I genuinely just am not feeling too much like it today. I know it's kind of abrupt, but yeah. Sorry. Normally I would go for a bit longer. It's just been a fucking hectic day, man. I've done enough, I think. I've done my part. I might come back to it later off stream and continue working on it. I mean, I am doing general coding off stream anyway. You know what I should do though is make sure that I did this. Wait, did I save in Unity? That's something else. It doesn't matter. Not like it. I can really change it now. Commit to master, and we push this out here. Yeah, genuinely, I'm fucking throwing in the towel. Yeah, see you guys later. Be in the past, present, or future.